This after a head-on collision between an interurban bus belonging to a Galax Voyage and a heavy duty truck that collided this morning at the Yaoundé Sangmelima highway. Also, after the announcement of Cameroon's president's demise, Paul Biya, four cabinet ministers in separate communique debunked this set information as they describe it as fake news, while assuring Cameroonians and the international community that the president is in a world state of health as he will be returning soon to the country. And Southwest Governor Bernard Okalia Belai gives 72 hours to the people of Idabato to produce the divisional officer Roland Ewane, who was kidnapped and taken to an undisclosed location. This as he heads a fact-finding mission to Idabato in the Bakassi Peninsula of the Southwest region. Those were major stories. Good evening to you all. You are welcome to High Prime of Wednesday, the 9th of October 2024. For presentation, I am attending Larry Kevin Tabot. We begin this newscast with this story after a foreign news television channel announced the passing away of President Paul Biya, and coupled with the prolonged absence of Cameroon's president, who hasn't been seen in public after the China-Beijing conference that took place last September the 4th to the 6th in Beijing, China. In light of this, different cabinet ministers have been issuing communiques debunking the set information as baseless and fake news. As they say, President Paul Biya is in a good state of health as he is currently in Geneva. This follows the communique of the Director of Civil Cabinet at the Presidency of the Republic, Samuel Vondo Ayolo. We have details in this report, in the following report that comes up. President Paul Biya's long absence from public events, both in Cameroon and internationally, has caused the attention of many Cameroonians. The situation was further made worse after a foreign news television channel announced the death of Paul Biya. The uncommon absence of Mr. Biya from the finals of the Cameroon Cup, the 79th General Assembly of the United Nations Organization, and the 19th Summit of La Francophonie that held in Paris sends worrisome signals, as he was lastly seen during the China-African Summit that held in Beijing last 4th to 6th September 2024. But with a month gone, and the big question is, what has become of the President of the Republic? Where is he? In the midst of these plethora polemics surrounding the President of the Republic, the Director of Civil Cabinet, Samuel Vondo Ayolo, alongside his colleagues of Communication, Higher Education, and Labor and Social Security, have all debunked such outings. As they say, they are all baseless in the different communique they issued, and insisted that President Paul Biya is in perfect health and shape as he is exercising his duty from Geneva, Switzerland, and went further in stating that he will be in Cameroon in the days ahead, but with a clause in the country's constitution that gives a 40-day deadline for the prolonged absence of the number one personality of the Republic. Cameroonians are highly awaiting the coming of the 91-year-old head of state who has been at the helm of the country's supreme magistracy for the past 41 years. And in line with that story, we now take you to this communique issued by the Director at the Civil Cabinet of the Presidency of the Republic, Samuel Vondo Ayolo, that with thus recently some mischievous individuals have spread rumors about the supposed poor health and eventual death of President Paul Biya, President of the Republic, on social media. The Civil Cabinet of the Presidency of the Republic reassures Cameroonians and the international community on his excellent state of health. The head of state continues to exercise his duties in Geneva and has never departed the city following his visits to Beijing, China. The Civil Cabinet strongly condemns attack of freedom of expression with the sole purpose of misleading the local and international public opinion. Signed, Samuel Vondo Ayolo, Director of the Civil Cabinet of the Republic of the Republic. We move on to this story, this human interest story from the city of Douala, where a 24-year-old young man who goes off the name of Carol has stabbed his mother to death. According to the reports that we got, he was promised some sum of money with an advance payment of 3 million CFA francs that was given to him by some individuals for him to kill the said mother. This macabre incident took place at the Makepe Misoke neighborhood of the Douala 5 subdivision, as our reporter Aisha Mbeng paints a picture of that event. At the Makepe Misoke neighborhood of the Douala 6 subdivision is a morning scenario unfolding after a mother of 4, Marie Magdalene, who was found dead in her living room. According to some sources, she was killed by her 24-year-old son, whose name we got as Karel. He stabbed his mother to death, and later on his younger sister came out running and shouting that he has killed their mother. Upon hearing this, I came out from the house where he left the knife that he used in killing the mother before taking off to report himself and the case to police officers. We are really shocked. This woman suffered a lot taking care of this child. We really do not know what happened and what prompted him to carry out such an act, as this issue is more than us, the inhabitants of this neighborhood. Many in the localities are in a state of shock and disbelief for what the young Carol has carried out. Others highlighted they have seen the young man behaving strange. As the story goes, sources indicate he was given 3 million francs CFA to kill the mother. We are all devastated. Everyone in this neighborhood is in a state of shock. Arriving at the police station, we sought to know why he killed his mother. He responded he was given an advance payment to commit the act, as he received the sum of 3 million CFA. This was one of the conditions given to him. Carol ran to the 10th police district in Douala to report himself, as the mortal remains of his slain mother is at the Daido District Hospital mortuary. Barrister Akeremuna, after being endorsed by certain opposition parties in the country, he had made his presence felt on the various social media handles, as he outlined on strong points that if he is being elected as president of the Republic come the 2025 presidential elections, these set manifestos of him will be implemented to the fullest. Let's take a listen to Barrister Akeremuna speaking there.
My fellow Cameroonians, on September 28, 2024, the Universal Political Party, through the voice of its leader, Professor Prosper Nkumvondo, proposed me as their candidate for the next presidential election. It was during a press conference organized by the Popular Action Party, PAP, which saw the participation of other political groups led by our country's oldest political party, the Union des Populations du Cameroun, UPC, as well as several civil society organizations. The next presidential elections in Cameroon will be unlike any previous one. The election will take place in a context marked by the persistent deadlock of our responses to the socio-political crisis in the Northwest and the Southwest regions. Other threats to stability hang over our common future. Power struggles aggravating ethnic and social antagonisms. No one knows when or how the practices of exclusion and marginalization that continue to threaten social cohesion will end. Today, the economy is in the doldrums. Corruption is worsening and institutions are crumbling. All the signs of wear and tear of power are there before our very eyes. A lack of new blood, cynicism in the face of the demands of the people, immobility in the face of the challenges and issues of the future, and the inability of the current system of governance to reinvent itself. I was touched and honored by the call from political and civil society leaders, grouped together in a coalition to work with them to find the answers to these challenges. A new dawn awaits our country. Every beginning is a moment of anxiety. It is also an opportunity to gain new momentum. The time for commitment has also come. That is why, without a shadow of hesitation, I have agreed to stand as a candidate for the next presidential elections under the banner of the Universe Political Party.
That was Barrister Keremuna speaking there. We now move on to the story from Douala, where chief warriors of some traditional palaces in the Vuri division of the Littoral region and some locals have set ablaze a Pentecostal church. This as the church whom locals describe of being notorious for noise pollution. It follows a traditional meeting held by the chiefs of the Vuri division who were complaining of the noise emanating from the said church, but went further to beckon on the pastor to reduce the volume of the loudspeaker. In this process, the pastor will remain adamant, went further to increase the volume instead, and went further in cursing the such traditional rulers of Vuri division. This incident took place at the Bonamusadi neighborhood of the Douala 5 subdivision. Our reporter, once more, we have details with our reporter, Aisha Mbani.
A born-again church in Bonamusadi Douala has been left in remnants by fire as a result of a clash between the chiefs and members of the church on Sunday afternoon of October 6, 2024, where the chiefs who came for their meeting could not focus due to the disturbing sounds coming from the nearby church. Though the authorities were involved, yet the failure for the two parties to come to a compromise led to the incident.
Il y avait une nuisance sonore et on a envoyé
I sent the chief warriors to tell them to stop noise, but they were not welcoming. I then moved there with the chief of Bonamusadi. We were also poorly received. I tried to calm the pastor. He said he would curse us. The surprising statement angered our traditional authorities. Things escalated. They began throwing chairs at us.
On n'a pas été très bien accueillis parce que j'aime dire pas pasteur.
Le pasteur qui est à côté faisait tellement de bruit.
The pastor played music and refused to turn down the volume. He started calling the names of each of the traditional rulers and raining insults on them when they approached him. This caused tension between the traditional rulers, the chief warriors, and the village children.
Ils ont demandé à ce que la barrière que vous voyez au sol puisse être activée.
Holding service about thrice a week, the church have been accused of disturbing the lives of the inhabitants through noise pollution.
Il faut que ça s'arrête parce
This noise pollution has to end. It disturbs children, parents, and sick people. Even though tranquility has returned in the village following the intervention of authorities, the tension still remains high as Chief Ebude refers to it as disrespect of religious authorities towards traditional rulers. In Bonamusadi, there is a chief, hence the chief should be respected. That is what I would tell everyone. The church authorities contacted on phone refused making any statement. Why? The said church, Chapel Holy Ghost of Bonamusadi, have been temporarily banned.
If you are watching us, you are watching our High Prime, and we are coming to you live from our new studios here in High Television. We now move forward with one of our lead stories. As mentioned earlier, Southwest Governor Bernard Okalia-Bilai has given a 72-hour ultimatum to the population of Idabato in the Bakassi Peninsula of the said Southwest region after alleged Nigerian pirates kidnapped the divisional officer for that locality, Roland Ewane, last October 1, 2024. The governor was speaking in a fact-finding mission to the Bakassi Peninsula. Let's find out on how circumstances unfolded at Idabato in the Bakassi Peninsula with the following reports. In a fact-finding mission to Idabato in the Bakassi Peninsula of the Southwest region, Governor Bernard Okalia-Bilai is welcomed by a broken door handle, shattered window, as these are some of the description of the state of affairs of the residence of the divisional officer Roland Ewane, who was kidnapped and taken to neighboring Nigeria by pirates, as the top administrator in the region gives the local population, who are predominantly Nigerians, a 72-hour ultimatum.
I gave the population of Idabato, who are 95% Nigerian, to release the GO. It is well established that the GO was kidnapped with the complicities of some so-called Nigerian businessmen who refuse to comply with the laws of the Republic in their illegal activities. They refuse to pay the taxes. And once the GO want to carry his job out, representative of the state, first of all, to fight the illegal activities, and second, to request the payment of taxes, he has been attacked, kidnapped, and carried to Nigeria. It's well established that he is now in Nigerian territories. We have received all the indications. So I came to tell the Nigerian community that they should release the GO. I gave them 72 hours, and while waiting, all the activities here in Idabato and the surrounding area are closed.
Traveling on board a speedboat, Governor Bernard Okalia-Bilai and entourage held a crucial meeting with the local different stakeholders.
It is with a feeling of deep concern and indignation that I talk to you. Indignation because of the unacceptable situation that occurred here in Idabato the night of the 8th September to 1st October. 6 days ago, I instructed your SDO to come here to request you with him the good relationship we have with the population of Idabato, who are more than 90% brothers, sisters of the neighbor and brotherly Federal Republic of Nigeria, to release the SDO and his collaborator.
Idabato, a locality that is 90% Nigerians, who made up the population, as they has made the place their home. Bernard Okalia-Bilai insists after the elapse of the set 72-hour ultimatum, drastic measures will be taken. As the countdown draws near, many are anxiously waiting to see the DO sound and safe. And may the divisional officer for Idabato be found quickly. We move on to the south one from the south region, where 15 persons has lost their lives as they were involved in a ghastly road accident along the Yaoundé-Sangmilima highway, precisely in the Sangmilima subdivision. The accident that took place in the south region involved an inter-urban passengers bus belonging to Galax Voyage. Some 10 other persons who survived the ordeal are currently receiving medical attention at the Sangmilima Referral Hospital there, as South Governor Philip Ngele orders all the survivors must be treated free of charge, as the corpses of the 15 victims has been deposited at the Sangmilima Referral Hospital mortuary, will be bringing you this story detailedly in the subsequent newscast. We now move on to the commercial city of Cameroon, that is Douala, where commercial motorbike riders in the city of Douala will refuse to follow the dictates of Douala City's mayor, Dr. Roger Mbassadine, for the use of yellow jackets to be put on, and this set jackets that carries the logo of one of the leading telecommunication companies, that is MTN. They say it is a way of exploitation. These set jackets were offered to the motorbikers by the set MTN as an identification jacket for them to be identified, as insecurity keeps on reigning in the nation's economic capital city of Douala. Aisha Mbeng attempts for some answers with some disgruntled commercial motorbike riders in the city of Douala.
Commercial motorbike riders in the city of Douala are in reluctancy to adhere to the instructions of the city mayor of Douala in using jackets offered to them by MTN Cameroon as identification, making it difficult to find everyone putting on the yellow and blue jacket with MTN logo on it.
Business. Why are they not registering with other numbers like Camtel, Orange? They insist on MTN. There were MTN's guys there that were selling SIMs. So they said the guy need to buy a SIM. They register it with the guy's name and then create a mobile money in the SIM card before they can register the guy for that Shwazi. So it shows that it's a form of business behind it.
In the meantime, some riders disclosed that the mobile operator announced that the jackets are being free of charge, whereas it is fake.
Shwazi that we are wearing, it's not for free. For example, there are some of our brothers that they have testified that they have only registered for that Shwazi, they have it. They say that if, for example, you put 1,000 francs in your mobile money account, you will realize that you have 900 francs. I mean, 100 francs is being disappeared. So for us, the bike riders in Douala, we have decided that we don't want it.
The motorbike riders still find the situation incomprehensible, as they wish to do things the right way.
Sensitize the bike rider and educate us well so that peace and harmony should reign in the country, because this can easily cause a lot of problems. A lot of bikes riders, they are confused.
Despite the hesitancy of some bike riders, others see it important to register for the jackets in virtue of obedience and responsibility.
Man say obedience before complaining. So I must register to obey the authorities before complaining to them what is going wrong.
In a nutshell, the bike riders also see it as a measure to implement security in the city for the good of all.
And that story from Aisha Mbeng on the commercial motorbike riders in the city of Douala on identification process wraps today's newscast of High Prime for Wednesday, the 9th of October 2024. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same television channel, to give you what must have made news in Cameroon and around the world. From me and the entire news crew, it's a blessed night in the company of High Television. But do not go anywhere, as at the top of the hour exactly 9 p.m. Uncle Diman will be here with the news in the Pidgin language. Good night.